Going to Limestone 1213 is so fucking right. Sometimes it's right under your nose and you got to go back to studying in certain divisions. They got an article on this lady. I don't even know her name. But she said the most enlightening thing that gives understanding now to me. She says in the article, you know what I'm saying, the commandment is given to thee and in plural sense. To cut it short, you know what I'm saying, they're not sure if the commandment was given to both, but Eve, it must have been given to both in the structure of that God speak to the woman was answered by the woman when she was asked by the serpent, what did God tell you? And she answered, we should not eat from the garden of good and evil. But you see, the reason why God says he restores them, because they didn't have the judgment to understand what was good and evil. Understand? Time was frozen and night wasn't spinning. You know what I mean? This is the subject because we recognize that on the seventh day, God rested. But when they was cast out, Adam and Eve feared night. So we recognize this. I learned that Eve could be placed Eve 6 V 6 E 6. That gives us 3 sixes. Then I place Adam. Adam 7 7 D 7 4 times in between the Adam. I also know that when you add up it all together, Eve carries 3 sixes in her letters when Adam carries 1 6, because when you put all sevens together, it completes David's stars to give us, add us another 6 to complete a whole 24 night and day. So it's actually 4 sixes. But we left on the structure of 3 sixes, you know, or we don't know. I gotta go take a look at what it says. Does it say 666? Or does it say 6666? 4 sixes instead of 3 sixes. You know what I mean? Because it could be a deception, but we recognize that, yeah, maybe it is on 18 because the concept of the woman is much more evil than the structure of the man. She was made more delighted because she wasn't given the breath of life and was structured out of the man's rib. So they made her a lesser individual that carried the curse of sin and the envy and unsatisfying of evil. Now the good part was that Adam was structured in love. You know what I mean? That he fell for what completed him, which was his pair. Even though the conversation may or may not have been in front of both of them, the reason for compliance for Adam was that the fulfilling of his pair was the only thing that he cared. They didn't comprehend good or evil. They didn't know the structure of good or evil. They just followed what was told. See, that's why the devil, well, the serpent, acts the woman, being her the lesser individual than the man that was given the breath of life. Because the concept was to enter through the woman and the fruit to be passed to the man to crack the pair and the love that bonded them eternally. That gave them eternal life. It was all a big trick. Neither the devil, neither Eve, or neither Adam, they was all used as victims to God's master plan. You see, because it took, when the whole game was believing to structure the humans, it all fell into structuring the devil. You know what I mean? The bull. With concept to break it down to where it's six, wait, 36 times 6 is 36,000 legions. So with 36,000 legions fell, so that makes one more completes a whole structure of a century, which is 1,000. One the devil completed was structured as 1,000 angels in one. You know what I mean? To complete 37, with including the devil that fell. You know what I mean? That's why Solomon came. He picked 700 wives, 300 concubines that made him wise in wisdom, and completed what today the Freemasons call themselves as Grand Masters. But the structure of the organization is, okay, this is why Adam and Eve is restored. And it was a purpose behind all the structure. It was a purpose behind the gods. It was a purpose behind the Greek gods, the Egypt gods, the Samaritan gods. It all had some tangling in all the structure, you know what I'm saying? That comes to a revolution for a solution to get down to the conclusion. So the rise of the monster, 3 sixes, that leaves us on 18, right? One snake tangled into 2, which is 18. One Moses' staff stood against 2 that are tangled, tongue-tied in deception. Isis, Horus, Tammuz, and that side of the family. So it's understandable why the end game included Adam makes it a completion. A woman carried 3 sixes. And Adam carried the last 6. So the only thing that I didn't like about the article is that she's structured as the New Testament and the Old Testament as past was written in stone, is not forgotten, and the laws don't change. So that origin from the Old Testament still withstands and holds power and glory. They're not pencil and paper. Contradict that structure. So they're wise, but they're ignorant. You know what I mean? Because they don't want Christ. And these same ministers are the ones that are dumping the Jesus Christ. When the devil's letter shows them that Jesus Christ ain't nothing but the Antichrist. Because they changed the divine name into a resigned fame. They did it for publicity. They created the Jesus for power structure, to place themselves under the eyes of glory and to manipulate the minds of the individuals like the Little Mermaid that believes the chairman is a baby angel. Because they're so lost in concept, and even I am. Because I ran past this shit and it didn't hit me till I read the article. Fuck yeah, she's right. What's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. The serpent did ask Eve, what did God tell you? So it means God spoke to her.